Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Radha Vinobihari Mandir, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinobihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai, Harinam Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Keep an eye on it because it's going to go off.
Right, it's at 50 already, and then it's going to go off at 90, and then it's going to go off at 100. Got it.
Dandavat Pranam!
Dandavat Pranam. So we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this amazing treasure. Shri Gauriya Giti Guccha, Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. Mangalacharan is the auspicious invocation. In other words, we are invoking the presence, the blessings, the mercy, the sidelong glance of all of the divine personalities that we're calling out for. That is our Gurudev, all of our Guru Varga, Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, going back all the way to the original Guru, who is Krishna himself, and of course his Prem Guru, Srimati Radhika. Radhika, Premera Guru, Ame Shishya Nakta. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇitti Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaischa Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Nārayanam Tvang Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabjudataika Hriddi Chaitanya Lilamrita Sarasaram Nārayanam Tvang Satatam Prapadye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedānta Swami Nitti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Gaura Preshthaya Bhutale Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyāna Keshava Yutti Namine Adhimatya Charitraya Svashritanancha Paline Jivadukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dhvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchiranandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvang Nirdeshtha Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhauma Shri Jaganathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatang Surato Pangur Mama Mandamatir Gati Matsarvasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Śrīmad Ratnagara Sinhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Śrīla Govinda Devo Preshthali Sevyamano Smarami Shri Mandra Sarasarambhi Vangshivattattatastitaha Karshan Venu Svanair Gopir Gopinatha Shri Estunaha Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Shvadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Harer Nama Harer Nama Harer Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyatha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Dandavat Pranama Vaishnavas Charana Kamala Bhajaman, page 359 in our Śrī Gaudiya Giti Guccha. If you do not have this amazing bhajan treasure trove, then you may consult with Jiva Pavana Prabhu, who posts the bhajans in the comment section of the thread. So just go to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu, and there you will find the bhajans along with translations and commentaries from our acharyas. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu, for assisting the devotees so nicely with that. So I was inspired to sing the tune, which sounds like Gurudev Kripa Karke, like Gurudev Kripa Karke, but it's Guru Charana Kamal Bhajaman. Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, 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 Guru Kripa Bina nahi koi sadhan ban, Guru Kripa Bina nahi koi sadhan ban, Bhajamano Bhajayan Sham, Bhajamano Bhajayan Sham, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman, Milta nahi aisa durlabh janam, Milta nahi aisa durlabh janam, Brahmata hu chodah bhuvan, Brahmata hu chodah bhuvan, किसी को मिलते हैं अहो भाग्यों से, किसी को मिलते हैं अहो भाग्यों से, हरि भक्तों के दर्शन, हरि भक्तों के दर्शन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, कृपा की आनंद मूर्ति, कृष्ण कृपा की आनंद मूर्ति, दीन जनों करुणा निदान, दीन जनों करुणा निदान। भक्ति भाव प्रेम तीन प्रकाश तो, भक्ति भाव प्रेम तीन प्रकाश तो, श्री गुरु पतित पावन, श्री गुरु पतित पावन। गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन। श्रुति स्मृति इतिहास पुराण माही, श्रुति स्मृति इतिहास पुराण माही, तीनों स्पष्ट प्रमाण, तीनों स्पष्ट प्रमाण। तन मन जीवन गुरु पदे अर्पण, तन मन जीवन गुरु पदे अर्पण, सदा हरि नाम रत, सदा हरि नाम रत, सदा हरि नाम रत, सदा हरि नाम रत। गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन। गुरु कृपा बिना नाही कोई साधन बल, गुरु कृपा बिना नाही कोई साधन बल, भज मन भजयन क्षण, भज मन भज अनुक्षण। गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन। ओ गुरु चरण कमल भजमन, गुरु चरण कमल भजमन। गुरुदेव जय, 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 प्रभुपाद जय, प्रभुपाद जय, प्रभुपाद जय, प्रभुपाद जय, प्रभुपाद जय, प्रभु Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. Now we will call out for the mercy and the grace of the Vaishnavas. Ebaro Kurunakoro Vaishnava Goshai by Srila Narottam Das Thakur, page 44. Dandava Pranama Vaishnavas. Ebaro Karuna Koro Vaishnava Goshai. Ebaro Karuna Koro Vaishnava Goshai. Patito Pavano Toma Pine Ke Honai. Patito Pavano Toma Pine Ke Honai. Kaharo Nikote Gele Papa Dure Jai. Kaharo Nikote Gele Papa Dure Jai. Emono Doyalo Prabhu Ke Bakho Thapai. Emono Doyalo Prabhu Ke Bakho Thapai. Gangaro Porasya Hoile Paschate Pavo. Gangaro Porasya Hoile Paschate Pavo. Darshane Pavitra Koro Eto Maro Gun. Darshane Pavitra Koro Eto Maro Gun. Hari Sthane Aparadhe Kare Hari Naam. Hari Sthane Aparadhe Kare Hari Naam. Toma Sthane Aparadhe Nahi Koe Ram. Toma Sthane Aparadhe Nahi Koe Ram. Tomaro Hridoye Sada Govinda Vishra. प्रति जन्मे कोरि आशा चरणेरो धूलि प्रति जन्मे कोरि आशा चरणेरो धूलि नरोत्तमे कोरो दया आपनारो बोली नरोत्तमे कोरो दया आपनारो बोली एबारो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई एबारो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई पतित पावन तोमा दीने के हो पतित पावन तोमा दीने के हो वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय 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 वैष्णव ठाकुर प्रभु कृपा करो मोरे दया करो 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 All Vaishnava Thakurs ki jai. Now we will call out for the mercy, the grace of Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī Pad. Shuniyachi Sadhu Mukhe Bole Sarvajan, page 51 by Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur. I don't know how long the delay is. I don't want to start too soon before the bhajan is published so that you can follow. Shuniyachi sadhu mukhe bole sarvajan Shri Rupa Kripaya mile Jugalacharan. Shuniyachi sadhu mukhe bole sarvajana Shri Rupa Kripayo mile Jugalacharana Shuniyachi sadhu Bole sarvajana Shri Rupa Kripayo mile Jugalacharana Aha Prabhu Sanātana Gora Parikrama Sanatana Gora Parivaro Sabe mili vancha purno Koro hoyamaro Sabe mili vancha purno Koro hoyamaro Shri Rupero Kripa Jeno Yama Prati Hoya Shri Rupero Kripa Jeno Ama Prati Hoya Se Padoya Shroyo Jar Se Mahashoya Se Padoya Shroyo Jar Se Mahashoya Prabhu Lokho Natho Kavi Sange Loya Jabe Prabhu Lokho Natho Kavi Sange Loya Jabe Shri Rupero Pado Padme More Samarpide Shri Rupero Pado Padme More Samarpide Heno ki hoibe moro Narma Sakhi Gane Heno ki hoibe moro Narma Sakhi Gane Anugato Narotame Horibe Shasane Anugato Narotame Horibe Shasane Shuniyachi Sadhu Mukhe Bole Sarva Jano Shri Rupa Kripayo Mile Jugala Charana Shuniyachi Sadhu Mukhe Bole Sarva Jano Shri Rupa Kripayo Mile Jugala Charana Rupa Sanatan Jai Rupa Sanatan Rupa Sanatan Jai Rupa Sanatan Jai Rupa Sanatan Jai Rupa Sanatan 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 Jai Rupa Sanatan Jai Rupa Sanatan Rupa Sanatan Jai Rupa Sanatan Prabhu hai 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 Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai, Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī Pad ki jai, Śrī Sat Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Now we will call for the mercy of Śrī Nityananda Prabhu. Śrī Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Boro Shukir Kabor Gai. Okay, page 164 by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur. "1:30 in the morning in Hawaii." Wow. It's almost time for Mangalarti there. So this is by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur. Boro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda first. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. O Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Boro Shukir Kabor Gai. It's going to be really high. I have to go down. Boro Shukir Kabor Gai. Shukir Kabor Gai. Surabhi kunjete name হাত খুলেছে গোদনিতায়। সুরভি কুঞ্জেতের নামে হাত খুলেছে গোদনিতায়। বড় মজার কথা তাই, বড় মজার কথা তাই। श्रद्धा मूल्ये शुद्ध नाम से हाथे ते बिकाय। श्रद्धा मूल्ये शुद्ध नाम से हाथे ते विकार भक्त वृंदावशी जत भक्त वृंदावशी अधिकारी देखे ना बेचे दारू कशी अधिकारी देखे ना बेचे दारू कशी जदि ना किनबे भाई जदि नाम किनबे भाई आमार संगे चलो महाजनेर काछे जाय आमार संगे चलो महाजनेर काछे जाय तुमी किनबे कृष्ण नाम तुमी किनबे कृष्ण नाम दस्तूरी लइब आमी पूर्ण हबे काम दस्तूरी लइब आमी पूर्ण हबे काम बড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ বড় দয়াল নিত্যানন্দ শ্রদ্ধা মাত্র লয়ে দেন পরময়ানন্দ শ্রদ্ধা মাত্র লয়ে দেন পরময়ানন্দ একবার দেখলে চোখে জল একবার দেখলে চোখে জল গৌর বলে নিতাই দেন সকল সম্বল গৌর বলে নিতাই দেন সকল সম্বল দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা দেন শুদ্ধ কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা জাতি ধন বিদ্যা বল না করে অপেক্ষা জাতি ধন বিদ্যা বল না করে অপেক্ষা মনি ছাড়ে মায়া জাল মনি ছাড়ে মায়া জাল গৃহে থাকো বনে থাকো না থাকে জঞ্জাল গৃহে থাকো বনে থাকো না থাকে জঞ্জাল আর নাই কো কলির বই নাই কো কলির বই আচন্দালে দে নাম নিতাই দয়ামো আচন্দালে দে নাম নিতাই দয়ামো ভক্তি বিনোরা কি কই ভক্তি বিনোরা কি কই নিতাই চাঁদের চরণ Shraddha matro loye den paramo yanundo. Shraddha matro loye den paramo yanundo. Jaya Nityananda Rama Jai 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 Nityananda Rama Nityananda Rama Jai Nityananda Rama Nitai He Nitai He Nitai He Nitai he, Nitai he, Nitai he, Nitai he, Gaura he, Nitai he, Gaura he, oh Nitai he, Gaura he, Nitai he, Gaura he. पतित पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचीनंदन गौर हरि की जय। When I was singing Nitai He Gaur He, I was remembering Srila Gurudev in Murvilimba, and he told, Sudevi had just led one kirtan, and then he said, when we are singing, we should sing with heart melting and tears. And then he said like this, and very slowly he just said, Nitai He, Nitai He, Nitai He, Nitai He. And all of the devotees repeated after him. And then he said, Gaura He. He had tears in his eyes when he was calling out, and somehow we were all able to witness his kirtan, and somehow he allowed us to join in. And so he was singing Gaur Hai like this, and then all of the devotees joined him. And then he said, Nitai Hai, Gaur Hai, Nitai Hai, Gaur Hai. And then after that, then he did Radhe He, Krishna He, slowly. And then again, sped up for Radhe He, Krishna He, and calling out like that. So he was showing us, by his own example, how we should do kirtan. Now we're going to call out for the mercy, the grace of Sri Sachinandan Gaur Hari. In Sanskrit, Sake Kalaya Gauru Mudaram. Srila Gurudev said, if you want to please Srimati Radhika, then you sing Namami Nandanandanam. If you want to please Krishna, you sing Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraja. If you want to please both of them, you sing Sake Kalaya Gauru Mudaram. If we can find the video of that, it's a little bit more difficult. All I know is in Murvilimba, and it was at the school with the wooden floor. It was at I think it was a Sikh school, if I'm not mistaken. It has since become a Gurudwara, but at that time it was a school, and Srila Gurudev was there maybe around 2000, between 2000 and 2002. That's what I recall. So this is by Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam Das, page 340. I have to keep my eye on the phone because it's going to do one of those stall things at a certain point at 90% and then at 100%, and then it will continue to go flow normally. So Sakhe? Okay. Yes, please, if you see it stall, immediately let me know. Because Sudevi can't see it. Sakhe kalaya goramudaram Sakhe kalaya goramudaram Sakhe kalaya madhu madhura smito lobhito tanu kritam madhu madhura smito lobhito tanu kritam anupamo bhava vilasam 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 vidhuvano nagari mohito manaso vidhuvano nagari mohito manaso vikatita gado gado bhasho vikatito gado gado bhasham vidhuvano nagari mohito manaso vikatito gado gado bhasham vikatito gado gado bhasham sabhe talayo goramudaram sabhe talayo goramudaram parama kinchano kinchano naragano parama kinchano kinchano naragano karuna vitarano shilam karuna vitarano shilam shobhita durmati radha mohano shobhita durmati radha mohano namako nirupamo lilo namako nirupamo lilam shobhita durmati radha mohano namako nirupamo lilam namako nirupamo lilam sakhe kalayo goramudaram sakhe kalayo goramudaram sakhe kalayo goramudaram sakhe kalayo goramudaram nindita hatako kantikale boro nindita hatako kantikale boro garbito maro komaram garbito maro komaram nindita hatako kantikale boro garbito maro komaram garbito maro komaram sakhe kalayo goramudaram sakhe kalayo goramudaram Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari, Gaura He, 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 Gaura He. Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari ki Jai. Bandhu Sange Jaditava Ranga Parihas. That is the first bhajan in the Krishna section. Page 124. By an unknown Vaishnava author. However, it is directly, the bhajanized form of the verse written by Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, Smeram Hangitraya Parichitam Shachivishtirna Drishtim, which is found in Śrī Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, it is fully in line. I'm not sure who it's from, but it is here, and our Gurudev would have Krishna Das Prabhu sing it and other Vaishnavas sing it. Śrīla Gurudev appreciated it. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Bandhu sange jadi Ranga parihas. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Hake abhilash, hake Hake abhilash, hake abhilash. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga parihas. Bandhu sange jadi tava ranga বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস, গোবিন্দ বিগ্রহ ধরি কোথায় আছেন হরি, গোবিন্দ বিগ্রহ ধরি কোথায় আছেন হরি, নয়নে বঙ্কিমা দৃষ্টি মুখে মন্দহাস, নয়নে বঙ্কিমা দৃষ্টি মুখে মন্দহাস, কিবা ত্রিভঙ্গম থা বর্ণ সমুজ্জ্বল শ্যাম, কিবা ত্রিভঙ্গম থা বর্ণ সমুজ্জ্বল শ্যাম, নব কিশোলয় শোভা শ্রী অঙ্গে প্রকাশ, নব কিশোলয় শোভা শ্রী অঙ্গে প্রকাশ, বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস, বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস, অধরে বংশীতি তা অনর্তের মূলাধার, অধরে বংশীতি তা অনর্তের মূলাধার, শিকি চূড়া কেয় ভাই করোনা বিশ্বাস, শিকি চূড়া কেয় ভাই করোনা বিশ্বাস, সে মূর্তি নয়নে হেরে কেহ নাহি ঘরে ফিরে, সে মূর্তি নয়নে হেরে কেহ নাহি ঘরে ফিরে, সংসারী গৃহীর যে গো ওই সর্বনাশ, সংসারী গৃহীর যে গো ওই সর্বনাশ, তাই মনে বড় ত্রাস, তাই মনে বড় ত্রাস, ঘটিবে বিপদ ভারী যেও না কোহে সংসারী, ঘটিবে বিপদ ভারী যেও না কোহে সংসারী, মথুরায় কেশী তীর্থ ঘাতের সকাশ, মথুরায় কেশী তীর্থ ঘাতের সকাশ, বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ পরিহাস, বন্ধু সঙ্গে যদি তব রঙ্গ Krishna He, 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 oh Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He, Krishna He. Shri Vino Bihari Ju ki jai. I was just looking in the Hindi section for Choti Si Kishori, but it is not here and I don't have it, so it's not happening today. Radhanam Paramasukadai. Page 362. Radhanam Parama Sukadai. Radhanam Parama Sukadai. Radhanam Parama Sukadai. Radhanam Parama Sukadai. Radhanam, Radhanam Parama Sukadai. Radhanam जाऊं ब्रज त्यज के मैं कहीं नहीं जाऊं ब्रज त्यज के मैं कहीं नहीं जाऊं ब्रज त्यज के मैं कहीं नहीं जाऊं रसिक संतनों के दर्शन पाऊं रसिक संतनों के दर्शन पाऊं जग से प्रीति हटाई राधा नाम परम सुखदाई राधा नाम परम सुखदाई ओ राधा नाम राधा नाम राधा नाम परम सुखदाई 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 जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय कृष्ण ओ जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय कृष्ण वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा रानी की जय श्री कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय Sorry about the interruption. After I went back to the beginning of that particular verse, but I was still in the middle of singing it, so I didn't want to stop it and then start it again. And tomorrow there's no guarantee that it won't also cut off. So within a very short time there's going to be another cutoff, and then after that it should flow nicely. Now, Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, page. Well, you know it. Gauriya tune. Radha Shakti bina na koi shyama darshana paaye. Without the potency, which is Srimati Radhika, it will not be possible to have darshan of Shyama Sundar. I hope I translated that okay. Page 290, Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, in the traditional Gauriya tune. There's no guarantee of a tomorrow. Bhaktivedānta Thakur in that one poem he wrote in English. I think it's called Saragrahi Vaishnava. He said, "Forget the past that sleeps, ne'er the future dream at all, but act in times that are with thee, and progress thee shall call." So we don't know what's going to happen later. We can't change what happened in the past. How did Srila Gurudev say it, Sudevi? Whatever happened in the past,
Let it go, it's gone.
let it go, it's gone.
Whatever is happening now in the present, it too will pass, so let it go.
Whatever's happening now in the present, it too will pass, so let it go.
And then whatever's coming in the future is bound to come, so why worry?
Whatever's coming in the future is bound to come, so why worry?
That was it.
In other words, use your time in Krishna bhajan.
Why worry? It's coming anyway.
ठीक है. Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam by Śrī Satyavrata Muni. Page 290. Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Yashodabhiyolukho Radhavamanam Paramrishtamadhyam Tatodrutya Gopya Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Rudantamuhurnetra Jugmam Rejantam Karambhojayugmeno Satankanetram Muhushvasakam Trirekhankakantha Stitagraiva Damodaram Bhaktivedāntam Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Iti Drikshvalilabhi Ananda Kunde Svaghosam Nimajantam Akyapayantam Tadiyeshita Geshu Bhaktairjitatam Kuna Prematastam Shatavriti Bande Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Param Deva Moksham Namokshavadhim Ma Nachanyam Brineham Vareshadapiha Idam Teva Purnato Gopalabalam Sada me manosyami Rastam Kimanyan Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Idam te mukham bhojam Avyaktanilay Vritam kuntalay snigdham Raktaischa gopya Muhushchumbitam Bhaktadharam me manasya virastam malam lakshalabhay Amamisharam Satchidanandarupam Rasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namo Devadamo Tarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabdhimagnam Kripadrishti Vrishyati Dinam Batan Grihane Shamamogyam Mejakshidesha Namamisharam Satchidanandarupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Kuberatmajo Badha Murtyaiva Yadvat Kayamochito Bhakti Bhajo Krito Cha Tatha Prema Bhaktin Swakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Mesti Damodare Namamisharam Satchidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namaste Studamne Spuradipidamne Padiyadorayatma Vishvasya Dhamne Namo Radhikaye Tvadiyapriyaye Namo Radhikaye Tvadiyapriyaye Namo Nantalilayo Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaye Tvadiyapriyaye 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 Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam ki jai. Okay, we'll sing that tune, or you can lead it. So, one thing that I noticed that is very interesting, every Kartik, every day, whenever Krishna Das Prabhu would lead this bhajan, or any Vaishnava would lead it in front of our Gurudev, they would go back to Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam after every verse, except for the very last verse. That one, Namo Radhikaye, they would just go into that Namo Radhikaye, Tvadiyapriyaye. They wouldn't go back into Namamishwaram. And I find that to be quite interesting. Why it's like that. Why every verse going back to the Namam Ishwaram, which is the Aishwarya Bhav, and then the last one, Namo Radhikaye Tvadiyapriyaye, just taking off into the prayer for the mercy of Srimati Radhika. I just wanted to share that as food for thought. Also, I just wanted to acknowledge that Jiva Pavana Prabhu said, "Be here now," and as soon as he said that, Nārāyaṇa Ashram showed up and said Radhe Radhe. So I thought that was pretty amazing. Jiva Pavana Prabhu had the potency to call Nārāyaṇa Ashram Astriya to be here now. So thank you for that. Our goal is not Srimati Radhika. Our goal is Radha Dasyam, particularly. So Sudevi has requested that I can sing one particular tune of Hare Krishna. Do you want to lead it? No. All right. Let me see. Hare Krishna. I think they're on the phone. People outside. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Shri Shinitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Gurudev ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hare 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 Krishna. Sudevi,
Yes?
did you know that just a couple of minutes ago, Sandesh sent something to you?
Really?
Yeah. Maybe you felt it.
Oh, nice.
Then you asked me to sing that tune.
One of my favorite songs.
Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimiraandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta.
We're good. And we got there quick enough.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate giring yat kripatamaham bande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata Shri Śrīmad Śrī Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata Shri Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including all of you who are present with us today, my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam.
Radhe Shyam. Can you arrange for a little more?
I can.
Thank you. It's starting to get quite warm here, and water is required. Thank you, Mel. Did I notice that Krishna Premavati Devi Dasi said that today is her daughter's birthday?
Oh, we'll have to do a special birthday.
We'll have to do some birthday blessings at the end. 34th birthday of my daughter. Her name is Radhika Dasi. Please bless my girl to receive Radha Kripa. Thank you. So we will do a little Mahaprasad flower Pushpanjali for her at the end of this. Whoa! Sudevi. Maybe it's
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 sec. It's too hot. Whoa.
I like how Anjali always catches it and she writes ding dong.
Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe.
Oh, tell them we're busy. So,
Yes, from 5 Kirtan and Prachar. हाँ.
Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe.
ऊपर 2 चिल्ड्रंस लिविंग ऊपर
हाँ?
दो बच्चे रह रहे हैं ऊपर.
आपका?
नहीं, किराए पर रेंट पे दे दिया है, ऊपर भी.
हाँ हाँ.
तो वो दे दिया है, तो इसलिए बताने के लिए कष्ट दिया आपको.
ठीक है.
बाकी
So 2 children will be up there.
बच्चे कितना साल?
है 20.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
बच्चे.
स्टूडेंट.
हाँ ठीक है.
Okay, ठीक है.
तो ऊपर है.
Okay.
उसको दे दिया रेंट पे.
ठीक है.
तो कोई प्रॉब्लम होता है तो फोन करना. और यू पे द टोटल अमाउंट जो बैलेंस है ना, आप पे कर देना. फिर मेरे में से काट के फिर मुझे पे कर देना. मेरा रेंट से इलेक्ट्रिक.
Okay, so Rudra, if you can just translate what he said.
He wants you to pay the rest of the bill and take it out of the rent.
ठीक है. Rent से cut. ठीक है. Okay.
Bill finished and.
वो जो टोटल अमाउंट जो टोटल अमाउंट ऑफ मेंटेनेंस, वो बिल मेरा काटना है 1800 रुपीज.
Oh.
मेरे में से काट के you will pay.
I'm having someone call you. Someone will call you and will tell us. ठीक है?
ठीक है.
Okay.
राधे 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 राधे. Thank you, Sonam. He wanted to inform us that there are new tenants upstairs. Call him if there's any problem. Pay the bill and deduct the amount from rent. Okay.
What, did he want us to pay the bill?
And what's the next thing he said about maintenance?
No, I think he wanted us to pay the bill and deduct it from the rent. I got that bit.
Yes, Sudevi didn't study any Hindi and she understands it more spontaneously, more naturally, and faster than I do, which is strange because I actually lived here for 2 years when I was young in Vrindavan Gurukul, but they didn't teach us Hindi, they tried to teach us Sanskrit. Yeah, Gurudev told me you can learn, and he told Sudevi don't even bother. He actually told myself and Vishaka, he said you can learn, and he told Sudevi and Sajjan Maharaj don't even try. So
Sajjan Maharaj wasn't there at the time.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. At that very moment, I thought he was.
No.
Maybe told at a different time.
It was just the darshan with the three of us. Anyway,
Okay.
Aluk will call him.
Yes. ठीक है. ठीक है. Thank you, Sonam. So, we are continuing. Sorry for that. Anyway, real live interactions that are going on here. He's a military man. He provides all the necessities to the local military. So, now we're continuing with Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. This treasure is manifested from the heart of Śrī Satyavrata Muni, placed in Padma Purana by Ved Vyas, commented on in this version by Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī Pad, then translated, that commentary is translated by our Param Gurudev Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja, who, in case you didn't know, is the sannyas guru of our Śrīla Prabhupada. He's also the sannyas guru of our Gurudev, but that's a redundant statement. So he did the translation of Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī's commentary on Damodarasṭakam, and then he also added his own bhav anuvad. And then that is followed by the commentary of our Śrīla Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And that is also full of bhav, full of rasik and bhavuk. And so before entering into this beautiful treasure and examining its contents, Gurudev used to tell us that. After Kartik, he would say, whatever I have told you, whatever I've placed in your heart, now you can go home, and then you can open that treasure in the privacy of your own place and examine, investigate all the beautiful treasures that you have received. So before entering into this beautiful treasure, we will pray in the dust of the lotus feet of these divine personalities in the words of Śrī Raghunath Das Goswami. Vairāga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnair Apayanan Mam Anubhipshamandam Kripam Bhadirya Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Begging in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest itself within our hearts. So now we're continuing with verse 7 of the Ashtakam. The Ashtakam has 8. This is the second to the last. Kuveratmajo badha murtyaiva yadva tvayamo bhakti bhajo krito cha tata prema bhaktim swakame prayacha na mokshe graho me Śrī Dāmodareha namami Shwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. I wonder if we will finish before Gaur Purnima. We technically have 18 pages left. It might be possible. So Yesterday we were discussing what our Srila Gurudev was telling. We're in the Digdarshani Vritti of our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And he was giving a synopsis of the pastime which took place. How those two divine personalities manifested from the trees which Krishna knocked down, the twin Arjuna trees, Yamala Arjuna. When Krishna was pulling that grinding mortar behind him, he was bound to it with a rope. Little, very little Krishna, not so old. That Krishna was pulling with so much force. He looked back for 1 second with some anger, and by that, all of their anarthas disappeared. Those two trees, the twin trees, fell over, making a loud, tumultuous sound. And from those two trees came two divine-looking heavenly beings. They circumambulated Krishna, offered him so many prayers, and then went their way. Of course, those little cowherd boys who were playing with Krishna at the time started trying to tell all of the elders who ran to that place what happened. Krishna was pulling this, then he knocked over the trees. These trees were massive. When we were in Gokul, at the place where the trees were pulled over, they were saying there was something like 3 kilometers high or something like that. They were there for thousands and thousands of years waiting for Krishna to manifest, to appear, and to liberate them. So Krishna did not only give them liberation, but tata prema bhakti sakame prayacha. Krishna awakened within their hearts prema bhakti for him. What kind? Braja prem. So they attained eternal positions in transcendental aprakat Vrindavan in the forms of Madhu Kantha and Snigdha Kantha, who are always glorifying Krishna's beautiful, sweet, honey-like pastimes, sweet, honey-like throat, and affectionate throat. This is what they are doing, always glorifying Krishna's pastimes. So there they eternally recite the sweet pastimes of Shri Krishna in Shri Nanda Maharaja's assembly. Now, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad explains how one can attain prema bhakti. We should listen to this very carefully. We also need to and want to attain prema bhakti. Our soul, our atma craves, it requires that to attain pure, unadulterated love and affection for Krishna, which manifests eternally in so many different kinds of seva. Ado shraddha tata sadhu sangha tab bhajana kriya tato nattana vritisya tato nishtha ruchishtata ata shaktis tato bhavas tata prema bhyudanshati sadhakanam ayam premna pradurbhave bhavet kramaha. This is in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:4-15 to 6, maybe it means 16. So this is also mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ado Shraddha. In the beginning, there must be faith. So our Srila Gurudev explains that, well, how will faith come? There must be some kind of sadhu sangha before that, something which gives the sukriti to develop faith. But from that faith then comes the, you can say, the drive or the pull to move forward on the path of devotion. So ado shraddha, faith. And faith is no ordinary thing. It is firm conviction that just by engaging in the process of bhakti, all other obligations are automatically taken care of. Automatically done, nothing else to do. So, in the beginning, ado shraddha. Thereafter, sadhu sangha. From that faith, then one accepts also shastra. This is one of the primary symptoms of shraddha or faith, that one also has conviction in the words of shastra. And what do the words of shastra say? Ado guru parashray. Take shelter of the lotus feet of Shri Guru. Take shelter, take the association of sadhus. Always associate with the pure devotees of the Lord. Tab bhajana kriya. Thereafter, under the guidance of sadhus, perform the activities of bhajan. All of the activities of bhakti collectively are known as bhajan. Tato narta navritti syat. As a result of the positive activities that we're doing on the path of bhakti, from that all anarthas, all ignorance, all inebrities become removed, washed out, or destroyed. From the result of the higher taste, the lower taste is automatically relinquished. Tato nishtha. Thereafter, nishtha, firm, unshakable, unbreakable conviction manifests. This is nishtha. And Gurudev also wanted, he said, before I leave this world, I want that all of my disciples come to the stage of nishtha. Whether or not that happened, that's another story, but he did request it. He did want us to become qualified. And of course, he wanted us definitely to come to the stage of Guru Nishtha, which is the backbone of bhakti. Firm conviction, firm faith and dedication at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Tato Nishtha Ruchis Tata. From Nishtha then Ruchi. This is, each one of these things which are mentioned are not necessarily like, here's a fixed step. It's a gradation. Constant, steady gradation. But you can see that there are milestones along the way. You know, like when you have high power cables and you see there's a pole, a post in between. But the cable is continuous. It's the post which is holding it up which allows you to see, oh, this is marker number 20, marker number 21. So in between there are unlimited stages, so to speak. It's a gradual progression. Then ruchi. This is taste. What is taste? Taste is something which makes you want more. I don't know what you all like, but everyone has their favorite food. And if you haven't had it in a long time and I mention it, you might desire to have it. So this is some kind of taste. Our tongue is tasting something. Our nose tastes fragrance. Our ears taste beautiful sounds. Our eyes taste beautiful objects. Our sense of touch tastes beautiful feelings. So we're always also trying to taste, because this is the nature of all jivas and also Bhagavan himself. If we're not trying to taste Krishna, then we will be trying to taste anything other than Krishna. How to taste Krishna? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Under the guidance of sadhus, when that taste comes, you will know, because you will start to feel very inadequate. These senses which I have are very limited. They are not sufficient to allow me to taste the nectar which is arising from even these two syllables, Krishna. I require my senses to be multiplied millions of times to taste that nectar. Atashaktis, after ruchi, then ashakti. Transcendental attachment, deep attachment. It's no longer something, it's interesting because as the stages are coming closer, it's like the drive, the pull is becoming stronger and stronger, and almost by force, you cannot help yourself, you're being pulled. And this happens in the material world also. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dhyayato Vishaya Pungsam, while contemplating the objects of the senses, one develops attachment to them. So this is thinking. Then the attachment's the feeling. From that attachment comes desperate greed and lust. So this pulling comes. So thinking, feeling, willing. When used in the material sense, it completely binds one and causes them to remain within the bhavasagar, or the endless ocean of material existence. When you apply these same principles toward Krishna and Krishna Bhakti, this is the same principle, but applied to Krishna, then it is man-mana-bhav, complete absorption of the mind, of the heart, of the body, of the senses, everything in Krishna, while contemplating the object of love and affection, that is Krishna. One will develop attachment to him. From such attachment then comes instead of mundane kam, aprakritikam, transcendental love and affection will manifest from this. And you cannot help yourself to run after that thing. So thinking, feeling, willing, you cannot even help yourself. Raganuga means spontaneous pull will happen from your heart if you are absorbing your mind always in thinking of Krishna, especially in the association of and under the guidance of his pure devotees. So atashaktis tato bhavas. From ashakti then bhav, which is transcendental, loving, serving mood. That is the goal of our sadhan. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhavasa sadhana bida. The goal of our sadhan. Sadhan means the practices that one undertakes to attain a particular goal, or sadhya. If you do not have a goal, then what you're doing cannot be considered sadhana. So the goal of our sadhana should be bhava bhakti. Until that time, it can be considered a semblance or even some kind of exercise. It means I'm doing some kind of practice, but if I don't have my goal set, the goal of my sadhana, bhakti, is bhava bhakti. If that goal is not set, then I cannot really technically call what I'm doing sadhana. And the goal of bhava bhakti, the goal of the sadhana of bhava bhakti is prema bhakti. So to say that I'm also doing sadhan from bhava bhakti, then your goal must be set as prema. So this is milestone, or the post along the way. So atashaktis tato bhavas. Bhav is, I'm talking very, very generally. What is bhav? Bhav means mood or sentiment, but really it is that heart full of desperate need to love and serve. It's beyond ashakti. It's beyond attachment. It is transcendental loving sentiment and move. Tata prema bhyudanchati. So from bhav, then prem. And of course there are many stages of prem. Prema, sneha, man, pranaya, rag, anurag, bhav, mahabhav, modan, madan. Madan is only experienced by Srimati Radhika. Tata prema bhyudanchati sadhakanam ayam premna pradur bhave bhavet krama. So it is talking about the sequence of one's sadhana as it is increasing from shraddha, nishta, ruchi, asakti, bhav, prem, as it is moving in the direction of perfection. So I'm going to read the translation now. In the heart of the sadhaka, first shraddha, faith develops. After that comes sadhu sangha, association with saints. Bhajana kriya, regulated devotional activities. This is necessary for those of us who are still conditioned and have attraction to the mundane or the material, to be under the guidance of sadhus and to do the activities which are favorable for the awakening and development of bhakti. This is our requirement. If we do not do that, then very easily we can be pulled in the direction of Maya. So our Guru Varga are very expert at engaging our energy in the service of Krishna, which brings us sukriti. Sometimes, like we heard with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, his disciples were complaining to Bhaktivedānta Thakur that he's just having us plant eggplants and flowers for the deities, but we want to do bhajan, we want to do Ashtakali Lila Smaran, we want to be, in the Nikunjas, in the groves, and just remembering and chanting 24 hours a day. And Bhaktivedānta Thakur said he's your guru, and he has assessed that you are not yet ready for this. If you engage in all of these activities before you are properly qualified, it will actually have the opposite effect. It will have a detrimental effect on you. You will only start contemplating all kinds of material or mundane things. So better you follow the order of your guru. You do these activities, which you might not like, but what is good for you and what is favorable for you. How did Srila Prabhupada engage the devotees' energy? He didn't have them just sitting in one place chanting. They weren't qualified for that. Their minds would have been running 1,000,000 miles an hour everywhere. They were all very young, just coming out of the material energy from hippiedom. So much You could say illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, all kinds of different activities, different kinds of drugs and everything, but so much energy, youthful energy. And Prabhupada engaged them day and night, from Mangal Arti till evening Arti, and all day on Harinam Sankirtan, and distributing books and doing so much service. Everyone's every moment practically was fully engaged.
I was just thinking how you were talking about how some disciples didn't like what they were told to do, and especially this story about Srila Kishori Das or Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and it reminded me of one story of Srila Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Thakur, and he had one disciple who was gardening and making a beautiful garden with flowers, with all kinds of vegetables, and he was meticulous and perfect at it. And Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Thakur saw all of the paraphernalia, and he asked who's doing it, and they were glorifying this person who is doing it. He's expert, he does this, and he said immediately he must stop that seva, immediately stop him and have him go do something else. So Saraswati Thakur engaged him differently, and the devotees were saying, but Prabhupada, we have such nice vegetables now, we have so many nice things to offer Thakurji, and he said, you don't understand, he's doing what he likes. He's not doing it for the pleasure of Krishna, he's not doing it for the service of Krishna and the devotees, he's doing what he enjoys, which is only increasing his lust and his pratishta. And then there was another devotee who wasn't expert at all, and he put him in charge of it. And he was saying there, because he's not attached to any kind of thing, whatever seva he does will be service to Krishna, will be service to Guru and the Vaishnavas. So he put another devotee in charge of it, because he could see that that devotee was only doing what he liked and calling it seva.
Right.
And this is what it means to be under guidance. We think that if we're happy doing it, then it's accepted by Krishna. But really it might be filling our egos and our minds and our proclivity towards something, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's seva.
Wow. That's powerful.
I just wanted to share that because you were speaking about, you brought up Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and I wanted to kind of add that to it. I didn't get to do it on Saraswati Thakur's day, but it was really powerful.
Thank you. You all heard what she just said, right? Yeah. Yes, they heard you. Okay. They said it's very deep and powerful. Doing what we like versus doing what Guru likes, what Krishna likes. This is a very deep contemplation. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada also would question, as I told you before, what did the devotees select from the Mahaprasadam? From my remnants. What were they taking? Tell me who took what. He wanted to know who was going after their own enjoying tendencies. And also any seva that we're doing. In the name of seva, it might just be something we're really good at, that we like. And the second something becomes a little difficult. Oh, I don't like this, so I'm not going to do it. But Sri Guru might give the order, you do this, don't do that. I've told you before, I was making pineapple upside down cake. And I was kind of famous for it. It is even published in the, what is that called? Kitchen of Love. It's published in there. And I used to call it the diet breaker because everyone would break their diets for this cake. And so every year in New Braj, they would have me make this cake for the devotees. And of course, I was proud of it. I was just kind of, you could say, ego-seeking in a way. I wanted everyone to say, wow, that was a really amazing cake. And so I was in the kitchen doing it. They were requesting me, the devotees were requesting me. And Srila Gurudev came out and I wasn't there in the kirtan. I actually thought about this earlier today. And Srila Gurudev says into the microphone at around 5:15, where's Kishori Mohan? And I came out from behind the bamboo curtain and I was there with my green apron on and I'm like, Gurudev, I'm here. And he just looked at me and he said, others can do that service. Your seva is to always be here in kirtan. And he was very grave when he said it. And I was a little bit off-put. I thought, oh, I'm doing service for the Vaishnavas, but Guru was displeased. If Guru is not pleased, Guru kripa bina nahi koi sadhana bal. Without the mercy of Guru, one cannot make any forward progress on the path of sadhana. Gurudev asked this question once, should you try to please Gurudev or try to please all the Vaishnavas? And he said, you can never please anyone. If you try to please, you can never please everyone. If you try to please everyone, you will fail. Guaranteed. You should try to please Gurudev. And if Gurudev is pleased, then automatically everything is properly reconciled. But if Gurudev is not pleased, even Krishna won't accept, right? Anyata nishphala bhavet. If you don't first do puja to Gurudev, meaning pleasing Gurudev, then Krishna will not even accept your seva, because it's not moving in the proper way. Anyata nishphala. Then it just will be fruitless in a sense. So Srila Gurudev said, others can do that seva. Your service is to always be here in Kirtan. So I was thinking about that in this connection also. Maybe I wanted to be making those cakes and I wanted the ego that would come with it. I was expert at it. And sitting next to Krishna Das doing Kirtan, I always felt very, very inadequate. And Krishna Das would call me there and have me lead and sing. And, I look back at the videos and even now I'm like, oh my God. But anyhow, it's not about what we like. Bhakti is not about what we like. Bhakti is about doing what is pleasing to Krishna. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. What is favorable for Krishna. And that starts with Guru Krishna. First and foremost. The form of Krishna as Sri Guru in our lives. So this point is essential. And if we're expertly doing something, but it's only increasing our pratishtha and we're very comfortable and cozy with it, that might not be considered seva. For me, it was quite easy to travel around the world. I loved traveling. And I also liked doing this seva. It was much more difficult for Sudevi. She suffered a lot in terms of her health and sacrificed a lot. Sacrificed for Gurudev. And I saw a difference. For me, it was very different. Because she was sacrificing for Gurudev's happiness and pleasure, I saw her progress rapidly. And because it was easy for me, I did not see the same kind of progress. And other things that I might not like to do as much. Very difficult. If I also followed those instructions of Gurudev with more emphasis, with more enthusiasm, then I might be able to progress more rapidly. So, if it's cozy, it's not seva. I'm not saying that it's not seva, but if we're just seeking after what's easy, what's comfortable, what makes us happy, what pleases us, and we're not actually under guidance or following the instructions of Sri Guru, following the process, then we're not going to make that kind of proper progress. That's why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada ordered that devotee to stop immediately, because it was for his own pleasure. In a sense, if we see seva the same as Krishna, if we see it as Harinam, all of the activities that we're doing on the path of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, all of the activities, if we are not doing it exclusively for the pleasure of Krishna, then what happens as a result? That includes also taking prasadam. Because I'm taking it, if I'm not taking it for Krishna's happiness, what am I taking it for? Either for nourishing my body or for the enjoyment of my senses. Then what is the result? Just like chanting the name of Krishna, if I'm not doing it for Krishna's happiness, pleasure, benefit, to serve Krishna, but for my enjoyment, then what is the result? Is it really service to Krishna at that time? Not really. I will definitely get the result, some result, but because it might be nam aparad, or prasad seva aparad, or arti seva aparad, or dham aparad, or Vaishnav aparad, then what is the result? The result is the increase of our material lust, and it manifests in the form of kanaka, wealth, kamini, sense gratification, pratishta, name, fame, position, and power. That is why it is essential that we're always under the guidance of Vaishnavas, as Sudevi said, of Sri Guru or Vaishnavas, so that they can help us to curtail or curb our tendency toward sense gratification for ourselves, and instead turn our nature toward serving the transcendental senses of Krishna. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam Bhaktir Uchate. So I'm going to continue reading here. So from regulated devotional activities, this is regulated by Guru and Sadhu. Then anarthana vritti, the clearing of unwanted habits. You cannot clear unwanted habits without doing the positives. Prema bhakti jaha hoite, and as a result, avidya vinasha jate. By putting some positive higher taste in the place of prominence, then the negative or lower taste will automatically be washed away. In a way, like if you want to fill a cup. There's air in that cup, but when you put water in the cup, or nectar, then as it's filling, all of the air that's inside is automatically ejected out. But the positive needs to come in for that air to be ejected out. So this is anartha nivritti. By engaging in the positive aspects of bhakti, by absorbing one's attention, mind, body, senses, everything fully in serving Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, serving the Lord, then automatically the anarthas, those things which are unfavorable for the attainment of our artha, or the goal, they will be gradually removed. Next, the sadhaka develops nishtha in bhajan, fixed determination in devotional service, followed by ruchi, taste. Then he develops asakti, intense attachment to bhajan and to the object of bhajan. So bhajan is the practice, and the practice is aiming at a goal. Who is the object of my bhajan? What is the object of my bhajan? It's asakti. Here, that is Brajendra Nandan, Shri Krishna. After this, Shuddha Sattva, pure, unalloyed transcendental existence, descends in the heart of the sadhaka in the form of bhav, spiritual emotions. And finally, prema arises. This is the gradual development of love of God. It's interesting here. It's saying that something is going to descend, something is going to manifest. This is the effect of being under guidance of an eternal associate of the Lord, their own heart's mood of love and affection for Krishna. By that, by their own bhav, nityasidhasya bhavasya prakatyam hridi sadhyataha, by their own bhav, like fire, the fire in us is awakened, like theirs, our eternal serving mood. So here, Gurudev is saying, Shuddha Sattva, or that is pure, unalloyed, transcendental existence, descends in the heart of the sadhaka in the form of bhav, or spiritual emotions. And then from there, finally, prema arises. Let me just go back. I can't see everything here. Looks like all of the devotees are conversing with each other. And I'm not sure. I think I just saw something from Devaki. I see, I don't know. Feeling disheartened. Oh, I don't like to leave anyone feeling disheartened. Sometimes the truth of the path of bhakti is quite a intense pill to swallow. The attainment of bhakti bhav and prem is not a cheap thing. If we want to progress and actually make proper progress, then what we do should be for Krishna, for his happiness, for his pleasure, and for his benefit. And without taking shelter or guidance, or being under guidance, and really endeavoring to follow the instructions, the teachings, and the guidance of our Guru Varga and the pure Vaishnavas, then we will find that maybe we aren't making progress. And if we find that, that can be a source of disappointment. That, oh my God, I have not really made progress. But Srila Gurudev would always end all of his programs with, but don't be hopeless. Why? Because, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says, I mean, we have the tendency to try to chase after our own sense gratification. This is definitely a true tendency. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada says, by sincerely endeavoring to chant Harinam without offenses and remaining fixed in chanting constantly, one's offenses will fade and pure Harinam will arise on the tongue. As mundane thoughts arise while taking Harinam, one should not become discouraged. This is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. There is some difference between the pure name and namabhas and namaparad, and then severely offensive namaparad. There is some difference between all of these things, as we discussed yesterday. One should not be discouraged as mundane thoughts are arising. This is part of our progress. If you look in Madhurya Kadambani by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he's speaking about many different stages. And there's Ghanatarala, there's Tarangarangini. They're like waves and different, sometimes feeling inspired and enthusiastic, and sometimes feeling depressed and down, sometimes feeling no energy or enthusiasm, and sometimes feeling like I can conquer the world in a moment. Different feelings manifest in the heart. But one thing we should remember, all of this body, this mind, this intelligence, this duration of life actually is not really us. The real us, the jiva inside, is by its intrinsic nature an eternal servant of Krishna, and that can never be taken away from the jiva. That is why Srila Gurudev said, when Sudevi asked him, is Krishna one-pointed to Srimati Radhika? Gurudev said he wants to be, but he cannot. Not even one jiva can he give up, can he neglect. He can't give up even one jiva, because every jiva's nature is to love and serve Krishna, and they're eternally parts and parcels of him. So even as bad as we may have been in any lifetime, and Gurudev said there is not one sin that we have not committed millions of lifetimes over. So what we're doing now is pretty good compared to what we've done in other lives. Still through all of it, Paramatma Krishna has stayed with us, has witnessed everything, but is still waiting for us, day after day after day, with eager anticipation. When will you just turn and look toward me? It means, when will you turn and give your heart to me? He's waiting for us. And that's for us to do. He won't force it, but the possibility is there at every moment. And so here's something for hope. someone asked Srila Prabhupada, how long will it take to attain perfection? And Srila Prabhupada was giving the class, and he said quite strongly, you have not been hearing my classes? He said, in one moment it can be possible. Sarvadharma pratyajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Perfection can be attained in one moment. Prabhupada was quite strong, because they were like, oh, how long? Maybe it will take millions of years and like that. Prabhupada didn't want us to think like that. He wanted us to have that enthusiasm that is necessary to move on the path of bhakti. But we need to be aware of what is also holding us back. My attachments to all of these things, my attachments to my family, my attachments to my body, my attachments to my house, my attachments to all of my different kinds of habits, all of these different things, my mind, my intelligence, my ego, all of these things are basically little anchors holding us, like ropes bound to the shore, stopping us from progressing on the path of devotion. And so if we are able to acknowledge those things, oh, Gurudev, look, I don't want to give this up. This is really important to me. And Gurudev looks, and Gurudev will say, oh my God, look over there. And we'll look over there, and what? He'll take an axe to that, cut that rope, boom, and you'll feel the pain, but then you'll feel the freedom. Oh, that much closer to my goal. And then the next one. This is what the sadhu does. He stands there with the upraised sword of transcendental knowledge in the form of strong language. That strong language, another term for it is cold hard truth. Which it hurts. It hurts. We don't like it because we don't like to admit our weaknesses, but the weaknesses are there. Like Gurudev told me many years ago, oh, you should use your energy for preaching. And I was like, yes. And then he looked at me and kind of sat back and squinted, and he said, but you are so weak. And I was like, no, I'm strong. And I was like, kind of like showing that I'm strong, thinking physical strength. And he just said, we'll see. Like that. So he just acknowledged straight up, I'm so weak. And I didn't even realize it at the time, but yeah, I was and am so weak. And yet he still gave me some engagement for my benefit. He still wanted to see me progress. He still gave instruction. He didn't reject as long as I was trying to follow. I was trying to absorb or utilize my energy in his service as he ordered. So he was giving some instruction and at the same time engaging me in some positive activities. So we must be able to recognize our anarthas. This is one thing. It's not that we should focus on them, meditate on them, but we should recognize them. Why am I not progressing on the path of bhakti? Am I chanting for Krishna's pleasure or for my pleasure? Am I eating for Krishna's pleasure or for my pleasure? Am I listening to Harikatha for Krishna's pleasure or my pleasure? Am I cleaning for Krishna's pleasure or my pleasure? What am I doing it for? If it is bhakti, then we must apply the verse which defines bhakti. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavratam anukulyena krishna anushilanam bhaktir uttama. If we have that verse as the foundation for all of the activities that we're doing on the path of bhakti, and those activities are coming close to being in line with the definition of that verse, which is really the best definition of bhakti, then we can call our activities bhakti or bhakti abhas, some kind of connected to bhakti. But we should try to, and I'm using this, I don't usually say we should try, but I'm saying it now because I'm also speaking very heavily to myself. We should try to adjust our consciousness to, instead of being about me, focusing everything on Krishna, from my self-consciousness toward Krishna consciousness. And then all of the activities we do, if we're applying the definition of bhakti to them, then we can look and see to what extent I am doing it for Krishna's happiness, pleasure, benefit, what is favorable for him, or how much it is for my sense gratification. And to that degree, we can determine so many, especially because we're speaking on this verse, which is the different gradations of awakening of bhakti. It's important to discuss these points. So we can look and see to what degree am I moving forward on the path of bhakti, or am I staying, in a sense, stagnant, just doing the same thing over and over again? And am I progressing or am I regressing? Am I staying in the same place? Am I stagnating? Am I moving forward? Am I feeling more inspiration? Am I devoting more and more energy to Hari Guru, Vaishnava, Guru Sadhu Shastra, to Krishna, to Bhakti? We must be able to diagnose this if we want to really progress. And of course, under the guidance of the pure sadhus, the pure devotee, when we're in their association, then naturally we will do so many things which are favorable for bhakti. But they speak about all of these subjects again and again for a reason. They want us to be able to acknowledge our frailties, our weaknesses. Some diagnosis is necessary if we want to progress and become free from our diseases. Then it's not only that we just take up the positive stuff, but neglect rejecting the negative stuff. Both things are absolutely necessary to take into consideration. Atyahara prayashascha prajalpo niyamagraha jana sangascha lolyam cha shabbir bhaktir vinashyati. Before telling about the positive things, Rupa Goswami is telling us about the negative things that we must try to avoid. Ati ahara, over-consuming through the medium of any of our senses. Prayasha, over-endeavoring for material achievements. Cha, and so forth. Prajalpa, speaking about subjects other than those which are favorable for bringing us forward on the path of bhakti. Niyama agraha, either over-adherence to rules and regulations mentioned in Shastra, or under-adherence, which means to be in the proper kind of balance, we must also be under the guidance of Vaishnavas, Guru Sadhu. And Janasangas, associating with worldly-minded persons. This is also extremely unfavorable for our progress on the path of bhakti. Lolyam, greed for material achievements, greed for mundane things. These 6 things are detrimental or disastrous. Vinashyati, for bhakti. So Rupa Goswami tells us that. Now that you know that, now I'm going to tell you what the positive things are. Utsaha, enthusiasm. Nishchaya, firm determination. Dharya, patience. Tat karma pravartana, doing those activities which are actually favorable for the development of bhakti. Sangatyagat, it is definitely favorable to avoid bad association. Satovrite, following in the footsteps of the sadhus. Shadbhir bhaktir prasiddhyati. These 6 things are favorable for an awakening for bhakti. So Rupa Goswami is giving us both so that we understand, why am I not moving forward? Why am I not progressing? Why am I even degressing? Many of us have felt it many times. We get all inspired and enthusiastic. We're at a festival and we're like, whoa, yeah, I'm going to attain Krishna Bhakti tomorrow. And then Gurudev leaves, goes to another location, and we're going, waiting for another year. But Gurudev never wanted us to become weak. He wanted us, even at the time of giving Harinam to any devotee, what did he say? He would give us the amount, and then he would say, from chanting, and from here, increase. For some it was 32, for some it was 64, for some it was 16, others were 4. Start with 4 and gradually increase. He wanted us to always increase in our devotional activities. Gradually increase. The more one increases in their bhakti activities and doesn't decrease, to the extent that one is increasing, then they will naturally have to avoid or give up other things which are not favorable. So both of these concepts are very prominent. The positives and the negatives. Right? Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya bharjanam. One must accept what is favorable for bhakti, make a firm resolution for that, but also pratikulyasya varjanam. If we really, really think about it, and if we're really honest, am I taking prasadam for my enjoyment? Am I doing kirtan for my enjoyment? Am I doing any of the activities in bhakti simply for my enjoyment? Or is it really to awaken that mood of loving service to Krishna? Is it Krishna bhakti?
But isn't there something, like Srila Prabhupada said, to keep gulab jamun in the temple because it attracts us? So maybe in the beginning, you know how different people surrender to Krishna. Those who are in need, who are in fear, who want intelligence. Everybody has a purpose. So can it be that sometimes, even though there's enjoyment there, it's not necessarily all bad, that still we're attracted and still we're trying and we're going through the process, and Sukriti is building and building, and knowledge is being able to be retained, and from there slowly a platform is built. So even though it may be enjoyment in the beginning, or even in the middle, or even 3/4 of the way, who knows, but isn't that better than not doing anything?
I think you heard Sudevi, and yes, Srila Prabhupada wanted there to be a container of gulab jamuns at the back of the temple. For what purpose? So that the last thing someone would receive before they left would be something that would blow their mind when they would take it. You take that gulab jamun in your mouth and it bursts and it goes to every section of your brain, and it's just like, wow, what is that? That last thing would be the remembrance of something so amazingly rasik, full of juice and madhu, full of sweetness. And then you would want to return. So we have seen with so many of our acharyas, even Srila Bhaktivedānta Bhaman Mahārāja, when he was just a young boy, what did Param Gurudev do? Every time he would learn a shlok, he would get a chocolate, means any toffee or any candy. They would give him a chocolate. So he would learn many, many verses. So in the beginning of the path of bhakti, we might be motivated by the pleasure of our own senses. But anyhow, being in that association, gradually some sukriti will develop. One thing our Srila Gurudev would say quite often, though, is that we should not always remain on the foundational level. So I've been speaking about the concepts of pure bhakti as we receive them from our Guru Varga. But yet we see that our Guru Varga also somehow tries to attract people through the medium of their senses, their own sense enjoyment, seeing the deities and how beautiful, and the way the incense would billow out the doors when dun 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 Govinda Adi Purusham Dhamma. It's just like, wow! Your senses would be completely amazed, and then the way the kirtans would be, and the way the prasadam is, and everything. The philosophy, of course, something's attracting our senses initially. But gradually we have to dovetail that. We will have to. Otherwise, we cannot progress on the path of devotion to Krishna. So something needs to attract us initially. For most of us, that is something which pleases our senses. And then as we're listening more, as we're diving more deeply into the path of bhakti, we realize, wait a second, it's not about my senses anymore. You mean ashlishyava paradatam pinashtumam? Mean you can do whatever you like, even if I have to suffer, as long as you're happy? This mood has to come toward Krishna eventually. In the beginning, it's about my enjoyment, my happiness, my pleasure. But after some time, Gurudev didn't want us to remain at that stage. He wanted us to progress beyond that. He said, you can't stay in the same place for 30, 40 years. You have to make some forward progress. And so forward progress comes by understanding these definitions of bhakti, what it really is, and then moving forward from where I am to that next level, switching the concept of for my pleasure gradually to eventually, exclusively, this is the word anushilanam in the definition of bhakti, what is for Krishna's happiness, pleasure, and benefit. So I just wanted to share here that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is saying, while mundane thoughts arise while taking Harinam, one should not become discouraged. A secondary consequence of taking Harinam is that these useless mundane thoughts will gradually dissipate. Therefore, one should not worry about this. By dedicating one's mind, body, and words to serving Śrī Nam and continuing to chant with great persistence, Śrī Nam Prabhu will grant one darshan of his supremely auspicious transcendental form. And by continuing to chant until one's anarthas are fully eradicated, by the power of Śrī Nam, realization of his form, qualities, and pastimes will automatically arise. So basically, it's a foregone conclusion that eventually all jivas, because their nature is to love and to serve the Lord, they will have to make their way eventually, one day, to Krishna. It is a matter of when. So we can choose to let it slide for 1, 2, 10, 1,000, 1,000,000 lifetimes, but our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas are not satisfied with that. They can't understand how someone would want to be in separation from their beloved Lord for that long. The idea of it breaks their heart. If one moment of separation feels like millions of yugas for them, then what about millions of yugas? It's like damnation, eternal damnation to hell. Just seeing that, their heart breaks. It sends shudders through their whole consciousness and psyche. Para dukkha dukhi. They feel intense suffering upon seeing our suffering condition, and therefore they desire to award us that thing which will make us happy forever, and that is praying for Sri Harinam, for Krishna. So luckily, they have that kind of mood in their heart. But these points, especially because we're discussing this ado shraddha tata sadhu sanga tabba jana kriya, we're speaking about the different levels of bhakti. And it's for each and every one of us to individually look at ourselves. Like our Gurudev would say, we should feel our pulses. And we should diagnose how far I have actually come on the path of devotion, how much my devotion has increased for Krishna in the last year, honestly, or decreased in the last 5 years, in the last 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Have I actually made any forward progress? Hold on. We should look at that. And then, if we feel that what I have actually done is quite inadequate, this is not a material investment in some mundane scheme. This is our jiva's eternal life. Then we can adjust and prioritize. Wait a second. Gurudev would say we should look inside and see, where is the flaw, the hole? He would call it a loop and hole. Where is the hole in my pot, so to speak? The hole, what is stopping me from being able to catch that nectar and to hold it and to drink it and relish it and be nourished by it? What is holding me back? We should diagnose that and then try to patch that up somehow, so that we can catch that nectar and move forward. Like our Gurudev said, he said, I'm like a pot mender. I go from place to place, village to village. And I call out. I open my shop and I call out. Anyone who has a broken pot, I will fix it free of charge. Our hearts are like pots that have been shattered again and again over millions of lifetimes, disappointed. And he said, I'm coming from village to village and calling out, whoever has a broken pot, you come to me. and I will fix it free of charge, and then I will fill it with nectar. This is his function. And then he looked at us, and he actually had like glossy eyes, like tears in his eyes, and he said, but no one is coming. If no one comes, then I will have to pack up my shop and go to the next village and call out. Srila Prabhupada said it is the eternal function of the spiritual master to try to help the fallen conditioned souls. So they're just moving from place to place, trying to help. That's what Gurudev said. Why do I keep coming back again and again? To help, he would say, to remember you, to remind you, to chant your Harinam, to chant your mantras, to follow the bhakti sadhana, to be strong, to not be weak. Don't be hopeless. I'm coming to remind you again and again. That's why I keep coming again and again. So for us, how can we serve and please Guru and Vaishnava? They're coming to do something again and again to remind us and to show them that I want to reciprocate with your hard endeavor. And we should also, I'm pointing at myself, make that endeavor to accept what they're trying to give us for our own benefit. So it's not that the little things that we're doing are absolutely useless. Definitely, we should come together and chant Hare Krishna. We should come together and honor the remnants of Krishna's prasad. We should come together and read transcendental literatures. We should come together and go to the temple. We should worship Thakurji together. Sadhu Sangha, Nam, Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Mathuravas, Sri Murtir Shraddhaya Sevan. All of the favorable activities that we're doing on the path of bhakti, but we should not remain in the same place. Srila Gurudev said that bhakti is meant to be like a flowing river. If you take a bucket of water from that flowing river and put it to the side, over time it will stagnate and it will even begin to smell and will become somewhat toxic. Instead of trying to pull that bucket from there, we should try to flow, to enter into that river, the river of our Gurudevs and Guru Varga's loving service to Radha and Krishna. Hold on tight to them and flow with them toward the ocean of nectar. Akila Rasamrita Murti, that is Krishna himself. Flow with them, enter into their moods, that all of my moods should become one, should become together with your moods, and together we will go toward Krishna. Atmani Vedantu Aparekori, that bhajan is telling that I'm mixing all of my moods with yours. Meaning, eventually we'll have to give up our selfish, self-centered, independent moods and instead surrender fully at the lotus feet of Sri Guru for Gurudev, for what is pleasing to Gurudev, for his happiness, his pleasure, his benefit, and he will take that and qualify it and offer it to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna for their happiness, their pleasure, their benefit. Let my heart, let my mind, let my intelligence, let my body, let my words, let all of them, Tanamana Jivana, Guru Pade Arpana, all of that should be surrendered at the lotus feet of Sri Guru, and Gurudev will take that and offer it. Once it is qualified, offer it to the lotus feet of Sri Sri, Radha and Krishna. So these subjects are very important to contemplate. I apologize if by my statements I have made anyone feel uninspired. That would only be because I am a conditioned soul speaking about subjects that are far beyond my qualification, and yet Srila Gurudev has instructed me to read a little, speak a little. So please forgive me for any lack of inspiration that I have given. And I pray that not only you all, but also myself, that we will be able to more deeply surrender and submit ourselves at the feet of Guru Gauranga and Radha and Krishna. So we will continue tomorrow. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So, Sudevi, after the kirtan, we should do the birthday greetings.
Sure, if you want to do it now or after, it's up to you.
I think we should do it now.
Okay.
Actually, one kirtan. Kirtan always uplifts, and then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Shri Sridhai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. That's for me too. Thank you.
Should I try to fit in there? I
Yes.
generally don't.
No, you can get in there. Okay. Is Krishna Premavati there? So this is for your daughter, Radhika Dasi. You were praying that we could all send prayers for her. Today is her birthday, 36, was it? Okay. So everyone can see her sitting down in the midst of the crowd of devotees. All have your flowers ready? Okay. So Mangalam Bhavatu. I was just thinking Guru Nishta, Guru Nishta, Guru Nishta, really. I was like, how can I forget that?
He just turned and goes, how do I start?
Everyone heard it. It's on a microphone here. I was just thinking Guru Nishta Bhavatu, Guru Nishta Bhavatu. Mangalam Bhavatu.
Mangalam Bhavatu.
Guru Nishta Bhavatu.
Guru Nishta Bhavatu.
Krishna Bhaktir Bhavatu.
Krishna Bhaktir Bhavatu.
Radha Dasyam Bhavatu.
Radha Dasyam Bhavatu.
And this is for Radhika Dasi. As our Gurudev would say, may you be happy in this life. May you be happy in any future situation. May you be happy all the way into perfection forever. Shri Radhika Dasi ki jai. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I
Their
can't.
human form of life. Done.
Well done. Shri Gurudev ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada Guru Varga ki jai. Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai. Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Radha Ramana Ju ki jai. Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai. Harinama Sankirtan ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Bihari Ji ki
Jai.
Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Shyam. Hari Hari Bol. Gopal Ji from Brazil. I don't know, we've been with you for over a year and a half, or you've been with us, and we haven't done your birthday. When is your birthday? Do you know when Gopal's birthday is? Gopal Pullman.
I don't know.
Okay. Chalo.
Oh, they're just saying it's a different little monkey. Radhika's nose ring connecting to her hair is too cute. Okay.
September 24th. Oh, we missed it.
Wow.
Okay. We'll have to write that down.
So thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and Guru Varga. If anything I said was favorable or good, you should know that is from our Gurudev and Guru Varga. If anything I said is unfavorable or bad,
It's
you
from
should know.
Sudevi.
It's from Sudevi. It's from my own anarthas coming out, so please forgive me for that. Also, we would like to express our indebtedness to each and every one of you for daily giving us the opportunity to follow the order of our Gurudev, which is our life and soul. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Chivriya Madhumani. Hasta mañana. Kal milenge. Radhe